Okay, so this afternoon we are out here behind the house in our wooded pasture area, and we are putting back together our electric fence because we get to bring the cows home today. So we're really excited. It's November 12th. It's a beautiful day for November, but it is time to bring the cows home from their summer pasture, which gratefully for us, it's just down the cornfield a little bit is where the cows are. And we will do a video about that. You guys will see us bring the cows home in a little while. So first of all, back to the electric fence. So we kind of redid it a little bit to keep them away from the hay that we give them through the winter, make it easier for us too. So here is where we're starting today. So we have our post here, and we have the two insulators. So we have it wrapped around. We wrapped it around the first insulator a couple times, down to the bottom, wrapped it around. Okay, actually, I'm sorry about that. I said that backwards. We started at the bottom, we wrapped it up to the top, wrapped it around. Okay, so now our wire is going this way to go to the next post. What we're going to do is we're going to stretch out all the top insulators first, okay, of all the posts that we have lined up. And then we will, when we're at the end of our post, then we're going to go to the bottom, just like we did here, go to the bottom, and then we're going to come back to all through the bottom insulators, and then this is why at the bottom insulator you leave a little bit of wire, because then we're going to connect it from coming back to here, because they have to be touching each other, the top and the bottom. It has to make a complete circle, right, in order for both wires to be hot and to be active for the electricity. Also, another quick tip, this fence right here has this piece of little wire right here. And it was kind of like this because it was just like an old piece of wire. And so it's all right if it's touching the post, but because you see how loose this is, an animal or wind or weather could easily eventually make this go down and touch the wire. This would make the fence stop working. So it's good while you're putting up electric fence, if you see little tips like that you know eventually could give you problems, just fix them when you see them, because then you're being preventative. And then you won't have a problem later on, and you'll say like, what happened? Why doesn't the fence work? So now we took that wire off totally, and now we're going to stretch the top parts of the fence. So, okay, so we have it rolling out. So I've rolled it out to this next post, but I haven't twisted it onto the insulator yet. So right here, we're at the post. Now, when you pull this piece of wire, now remember, we're going to do all the top ones first. We must pull it tight, before we wrap it, okay? So I'm going to pull it as tight as I can, and first I'm going to put it through here really quickly. Okay, now before I wrap it, I'm going to pull it tight. Okay, so now I'm going to pull it, I'm going to pull it as tight as I can, and then I'm going to start wrapping it. Now, that's pretty tight. Now we're going to take this, and now our next post is right there by that tree. So we're just going to take this. We put a little thing in the middle of this. Sometimes it's helpful if there's two people doing it. Okay, thank you. And you just roll it over here. We're going to have to go on this side of the tree. Okay, now we're here. That's the post, okay? So now I'm going to give me a little extra wire here. Okay, now again, we're going to put it in here, and then we're going to pull it tight, and then we'll just wrap it once around. Like so. So see, that stays tight. And then also what we'll do is once we get it stretched, we'll go back as we walk back. And we'll just make sure that there's no big branches that could be touching it later on, because that will stop it from working as well. Okay, so I'm just going to keep stretching this through these posts, and we will pick it up when we get to the end of the fence before we start coming back with the bottom wire. See you in a minute. Okay, so we've been stretching the wire through the post, the top strand, and now we're just stopping because there are some things that we need to cut down that are going to be getting into the way of the fence. The low impedance charger, it will go through like weeds and little stuff, but trees like this, big branches, you should cut down to help you just make your life easier in the long run. that's why we're just going to chop them off. Do it now before we leave this area, so then that way it's smarter and it makes your life easier in the winter. When it's cold and snowy and icy out, you don't want to be doing this, right? When the fence stops working or something. So make your life as easy as you can make it by being smarter and being preventative on things. Alright, so see, that looks a lot better. Now let's go down here. Oh, hold on. Better do these too. And like I said, I mean, even though it will go through little stuff, but my thinking is just chop it down if it's touching it, because it'll just make it easier, like I said, in the long run. I just like to make it kind of clean where the wire is thick, so I just think it's smarter to do it more like this thing, whatever this thing is. That was just a great one. Alright, so we're here on this side of the fence, and we had to put some more posts in, like I said, because we redid it a little bit, and to stretch the wire. So in order to put these, we use T-posts. You have to have a post pounder, and what you do is you put this on the top of it like this, and then you bang it until it goes down fine. That's what the post pounder's for. Now, the insulators is the next step. So they have a variety of different insulators that they sell. Long ones, short ones, one for T-posts, or one for wood posts. But these are just T-posts, and we're just using the short ones. So some of them, yeah, we want to use this size today. Because see, these ones right here would have been for the wood posts, because they're little, and you had to have a little nail, because you nailed them into the wood post. Or into your wood tree. Even a tree, you could use a tree. So how you do it is you go right about here. You put the short end first, like this. Then you push it around, and you keep pushing, like so. Yeah. So you have to see these little things right here on the wood post. Make sure the insulator is in between them, because this will get in the way. So then once it's around, you just keep pushing like that. So see, now that was good. So now we're going to do the other one. So come down closer here. Make sure it's the right one. So we're going to do it like on this one right here. So we're going to put it here, around, and sometimes you just have to push kind of hard on this one. There you go. See? There you go. So then it's ready for the wire. So let's go do, we have one more, and then we'll go back for the wire. And we're just still stretching the top wire. We're going to go all the way to the end, and then work our way back to the bottom one. So that one first, and around, and like that a little bit, like that, and find another one. Sometimes when you have so many, it's hard to find the right one. And then probably right about here for cows, because this is going to be for the cows. Now, we just have to do two strands of wire for the cows. If these were goats or pigs, we would make more strands. So you would just put more insulators to make it a bigger fence. Now over here, if you see, these posts already have the insulators on them from last year, so we do not need to, it just needs the wire. So now let's go back to this post where the wire was. Okay, so we made it to the end, which would be where our fence charger is, with the top strand, So what we're going to do is we are not going to put a gate here to go in and out. We're going to put it up there on the other side by the hay, so that in the winter we can open it there and just go from the hay to their hay feeder without having to come all the way around. And we will do another video on how to put in a gate in your electric fence. So right now, to end this, we're going to cut off some of this wire right here, and we're going to connect it right here at this top of this other part of the wire underneath the electric fence. And then we're going to pull it tight. So let me just see where I should probably cut it. Probably like right about here. So I'm just going to cut this off right here. Okay, very good. Now we're going to see this part. This was already for that side. This was for, we put our pigs on that in the woods over there, right? You can see a video of us doing that. And so this was to keep them in for their electric fence. And so now we're just, this side of it is for the cows. So that's why this was already set up like this. But remember, the wires have to touch each other, so then it will be both hot. Now we're going to make this tight before we put it back in there. It came out. Now your fence, though, doesn't have to be a complete circle. It's just the wires have to, the top, if you have 2 strands or however many strands, they all have to be touching in order for them to all be hot and to be working. But the fence itself could just be 2 sides if you needed it to be, or even just 1 side. Okay, that looks pretty tight to me. Okay. Alright. Now, go like that, and kind of go like that. Okay, so now, when we go back, now we're going to have to do our bottom wire now. So that's good like that. So now what we'll do is we will start from the bottom here. We'll wrap it on this insulator, and then we'll go the same exact what we just did for the top, go back to that, and then we'll tie it off. Remember that piece of wire that was at the bottom on that, and then that will complete our fencing for our cows, because we just need two strands. So thanks for watching, and I hope I shared the way that we go about putting our cows up, and I hope you maybe learned something if you didn't know about this, and I helped you out. And please have a great day, and God is always with you. Have a great day. Bye.